Hey, how's it going? I'm Sommelier Leslie Miller with AmuseWine.com. Tonight, Baxter and I are here because we just have survived the Snow-pocalypse in Minneapolis. Twin Cities got nailed this weekend with a lot of snow. And what better way to spend your weekend than to do a bunch of wine homework? So here's what I'm doing. I am actually picking up labels, or I did pick up some labels that all have weird or wacky wine labels to them. Because you know you want to pick them up, you want to know what's inside, and I'm here to tell you how good and not so good they are. Starting from the beginning, I picked up, I know you have to pick these up. They're the same line as, you know you want to pick up Cupcake. Well, Mommy's Time Out is just about the same darn thing. Mommy's Time Out, this is a little Pinot Grigio from Italy, supposedly. Varietally correct? I don't think so. This is about $7.99 and I wouldn't pay $1.99 for it. Same as its friend, the Sassy Bitch. What do you think about that, Baxter? Not so bueno, right? Sassy Bitch is a Pinot Noir from Chile, again, in the same price point category, and I'm quite sure it's not Pinot, or if it is Pinot, it's just blended with something else that is nothing like Pinot. Very, very bad. Not worth the price point. And again, we're kind of pairing some of these wines to what would you pay for them. And there are a lot of wines actually that do equal the price point value that you would actually pay for them. The Arrogant Frog was next on my list. This is from the Languedoc, and this is a little bit of Syrah and of course a little bit of Viognier to pop it. This is the Arrogant Frog. I know that the Arrogant Frog catches your eye when you're walking by it, right? The Arrogant Frog makes quite a few different wines between red and white. This one is about $11.99 on the shelf, and I gotta tell you, it's worth about $5.99, and not definitely one of my favorites. Moving on into the Big Ass Cab. This is Big Ass Cab out of Napa. This sits between $17 and $18 on the shelf. This has a pretty high oak content to it, so it has a lot of wood component to it, and I would say at the price point that that's at, it's not really worth the price point either. Maybe sits a little bit closer in the $15 category. Moving on to the boarding pass. I thought this was pretty sweet because this is actually something very unique and individual. You don't always get those. See a cute little boarding pass here on the side. On the back it actually shows you how to enjoy the wine, which is kind of cool, in steps 1 through 3. This wine sits at about $20, I believe, and yeah, it's about $19.50 on the shelf. And I kind of want to put it into the $15 price point category. I think that would be a little bit easier on the budget. Now, as we get into some of my favorites here, the show Malbec, and this is of course out of Mendoza, Argentina. This is about $14.99 on the shelf, and I would say it's probably closer to about $12 for me. It's a big, juicy, blueberry Oompa Loompa type mouthfeel to it, and it does feel like it has a lot of sugar to it, but at the same time, it's kind of enjoyable if you just look at it as the show. Kind of fun, not too crazy. The box head, I'd have to say that this one is actually getting into a price point that I really enjoy. This is $13.99 on the shelf, and this is Shiraz out of Australia. Box head, it's a cute, colorful label. I thought that a lot of people would like to pick it up just because of all the coloring on the label. And this is actually worth the price point to me. What I like about this is that you don't get that heavy-handed oak profile, and it's actually nice and quite enjoyable. Moving on to basket case wines. Basket case Syrah out of Washington. This is actually made by a very good friend of mine, Sean Carlton. What up to my peeps, Sean and Shannon. And I'm really actually impressed with this. It does have a nice smoky, toasty oak profile to it. But again, I think for the price point, this is at about $16.99, and it has a nice, really yummy, dark, blackberry, smoky profile to it, which I think goes great with pizza and also grilled foods. Now we're into actually some Young Punks wines. Now these guys make quite a few different wines, and they're a little bit more expensive. I'm not really sure that I would really pay exactly these full price points for this. This is $22.99, and this was a Shiraz out of Australia, and you know, $22.99 was a lot to pay for it. I know these the Passion has red lips, and it says that they abandoned themselves to passion. And I think it's a good one, but again, $22.99 is a little steep. I think you're actually paying for the voluptuous blonde on the label. Next is the Incinerator. The Incinerator is a Zinfandel out of California, and it's actually been one of my favorite wines to date. The Incinerator is about $15.99, and I would say absolutely yes, I would totally pay this for this wine. It is a great bottle of wine, and it's purely Zin. The typicity of it is almost straight on as far as a nice, big, juicy, over-the-top Zinfandel. The last is my favorite here that I have the profile tonight. This is Charles Smith out of Washington, and this is the Riesling that they make, and this is Kung Fu Girl. I have to tell you, man, this is a great, great, great bottle of wine for the price point. This totally was $13.99, and I have to tell you, is one of my best finds, I would say, of the entire selection here tonight. $13.99, I would totally pay that to the maximum. So there you have it, whacked wine labels. If you want to catch more of it, check out my new article being featured in Artful Living. Artful Living is a wonderful magazine here in the Twin Cities, and I'll be writing an entire column for them on whacked wine labels coming this winter. So catch it, and we're going to actually get to drinking some of these wines over on this end. And thanks for joining us. Baxter says goodbye, and we'll catch you soon. Thanks.